This podcast is brought to you by our Anime Addicts. And if you want to get some inflation-free extra entertainment from the show, you can go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/AAAPodcast. Look, I know going to the gas pumps is painful. Meat is painful. Monster Energy is painful. But you don't have to feel the pain from the podcast. Only love with our inflation-free pricing. Guaranteed. Over at our Patreon page, you'll get the hentai episodes, the after parties, and the hobby addicts, all to keep you juiced up throughout the week. And now it's time to start the show.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAAPodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Welcome back to the podcast, episode 831, and I am your host, Mitsugi, and today, it is a sausage fest as we make your anime addiction worse week after week. First, we got Mason. He's packing some Johnsonville brats. He's looking good.
Ooh, I love brats. Good call, my friend. Good call.
And we just had Memorial Day, which just passed, so maybe we'll have some sausage talk. Also on Sausage Cast, we have Raggedy Doctor, who already rizzed me up. He's rocking the Vienna sausage. He's got his one-piece button-up on it. Smexy.
I can't tell if that's Riz or Glizz.
All I know is that it's finally warm and sunny. I have my little sunshine buddies out, which if you're watching live on the Twitch, you can see. Enjoy, watch them nod along to all the base takes I'm going to have today, because no one else will. So I have to bring my own cheer squad.
Sausages! Sausages!
Continuing down the sausage lineup, we have as a sportsman himself, we have the Ballpark Franks with Otaku Cop. What's up?
You're goddamn right. I had to take a break from arresting attempted murderers to wax poetic with some of my favorite bros. So I'm elated to be here.
We might murder Crunchyroll today. We'll see.
I think we should. And,
We'll see.
And my specialty is shooting, so I wouldn't mind taking a firearm to them.
And packing heat, I'm here with the Little Smokies. Looking forward to the show today with... I just had to be on Sausage Cast. I wasn't supposed to be on the podcast today, and I said, you know what? I got to travel for work for 2 straight weeks. I'm going to miss 2 episodes. I better be on Sausage Cast. So if you guys want to support the show, you can watch us live on twitch.tv or on YouTube Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like the show, drop us a like and subscribe so we can get other people to find the podcast. That helps out a lot. Of course, you should tell all your friends about the podcast if you enjoy it. And, of course, you should head over to the Discord, AAADiscord.com. Type it into your phone, where we do the Anime Club every other Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I don't know what's going on next month, but they'll figure it out. There's always something good going on there. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, coming off what was just a scorcher of a basketball game last night where I mispredicted the outcome. I thought SGA would just come, carry him away, but instead it was a fucking beatdown. Pretty much.
I have to brag a little. I won $150 on that game yesterday.
Oh! Wow.
A little 3-leg parlay. It was a very easy. It was... Wemby was going to score at least 20 points, which he did.
What you did.
Spurs were going to win outright, which they did. And the total points scored would be more than 210. Thank you, San Antonio.
Wow. Well, and thank you to the Coca-Cola Company for providing me with this Sprite because I'm out of Monsters.
Oh my goodness, everyone is juiced up today.
So
We got
tragic.
good vibes all around.
So tragic. On the podcast today, I had to attend for the shit talk that is the Crunchyroll Award winners of 2026. I haven't even reviewed the winners. I don't know who won. I don't want to know. I want
live reaction.
in organic reactions in their totality, and we're also going to be reviewing Sentenced to be a Hero, which I didn't finish, but is pretty sweet. I get the gist of it. I watched 9 episodes. Come on. It was
That's good enough.
It was a last minute pivot. I watched 9 of the 12 episodes. Oh my god. It's time for the listener choice. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Mason.
Yes.
Well, why don't you run through these for us? And I can't wait to see how you guys react. It's very predictable, I feel.
Yeah, so these are the shows that we put up for a vote for our upcoming reviews. These are all the shows of spring that we did not automatically pass, that we send to you guys, the listeners, to vote on. If you have not voted at this point, you blew it. You screwed up bigly. You got to wait till summer. But for now, we have 2 runners up, and then we will go through the 3 that will be added to our review docket. So our first runner up
Hey, Mason.
in 5th place. Yes?
Number 5.
Crazy how numbers work like that. Number 5, not being reviewed with 14% of the vote, is Go For It, Nakamura-kun.
Oh, man.
Which I think
wasn't
this is a good placement for it. It looked great, had that retro aesthetic, really well animated, but I don't think it had enough meat on its bones to be a good review-worthy show. So fine with this.
I thought it was fine, but yeah, I don't need another like high school comedy.
Of.
Oh, here we go.
Number 4.
Oh, man.
Also not getting a review with almost 19% of the vote, we have Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku? Question mark, Otaku?
I never even heard of this. What the fuck?
Big if true, can you vouch?
It's not bad. It's actually a very sweet anime. But I would say once we go over the other shows, we'll see why. Because I think the listeners actually got it right this year.
Is that Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku basically like a bunch of the friend-zoned like incel guys that are too nice, and then the girls all go and pick the bad boy?
Nope.
No.
It is
Okay.
actually it's actually about a singular one otaku who is just living his best otaku life and ends up befriending arguably the 2 hottest girls in the class. And one of them is, gasp, a secret otaku.
Oh my god, it's Marin Kitagawa. Jesus, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Number 3.
Joining your roster of reviews
Rooster Fighter,
with Demons of the Shadow Realm,
Please.
Dorohedoro Season 2, Ramparts of Ice, Akane Banashi, Nippon Sangoku, and Witch Hat Atelier. Fitting for our Sausage Fest today. Rock out with her cock out. We have Rooster Fighter coming with 27% of the vote.
Let's go, motherfuckers! Yes, he will be rocking out with his cock out. That anime was so great. You guys are such haters. You guys are such haters.
I almost have to say that this exact same panel has to be present for the cock review.
So I'm coming day and night.
See, the only reason I voted to fail it was because I thought there were 6 better shows. So I'm happy to see it in listener's choice. I'm not upset by this at all.
There we go. It's joining the ranks. As with our number 2, with almost 30% of the vote. And I think Raggedy called it in our Discord, Marriage Toxin.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad show.
Strong.
I enjoyed this one. It was pretty good.
It's a fun time.
In fact, I might have passed. I think I passed all of these. So, I think I did. It's just the haters among... Okay, here we go.
Number 1.
Send it!
36.5% of the vote. Not much of a surprise. Otaku getting his foot in the door with Wisteria Season 2.
God.
Coming in strong.
Look at Otaku Cop, like, flex the pump muscle, like, oh my god. You be lifting, bro?
For those who haven't
Always
watched this is Mashal if it was serious.
Oh my god.
Listen, the listeners are cultured, and they got it right. Because I would argue Wisteria should be there on its own merits, not needing a listener's choice save. But that's just my opinion. As a fan of Don Machi and that author's works, they got it right. Good job, listeners.
So then here's the question. Which of the 6 did we get wrong?
Don't tell Lady Emery, but it might rhyme with smamani smamashmi.
Ooh, yeah.
Did
hate
we
to see it.
review season 1 of
No.
Wisteria?
Season 1, not only did it fail impressions, it also did not get listeners picked.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're at least touching on it at some point. So, there we go. So, we have our 9 shows that we will be reviewing from spring of 2026, and those reviews are going to start up not too far away from now. So, get excited for that. And if you're like, man, I wanted another show, well, then you should have voted next time, and you can. Every season we do it. So, get with the program.
We also had some new contributors on Patreon. They decided to take advantage of the inflation-free pricing. That's right. It's very nice. Mix on Patreon. I love you. Coming in to mix it up. And Dustin on Patreon. Every time I hear the name Dustin, I think of Cram. Dusty Cram. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. No,
Wait, what?
no he's doing
If you're not on the podcast, you're dead.
He actually doesn't live that far from me. He also lives in Tennessee. He lives about 2 hours away, and I haven't seen him yet, but maybe that will happen. That man
You
can
didn't see him at
definitely...
the one grocery store in Tennessee where all of you shop?
Yes,
Bucky's?
indeed. Bucky's. I literally eat taffy, beef jerky, and barbecue sandwiches all day long, and I don't regret
Come to
it at all.
Tennessee.
Here we go.
Have you seen
うおー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
Poor Otaku Cop. I arrested his voice during with that drop.
It's okay. I was just going to ask you if you've seen the TikTok meme where the gentleman refers to Bucky's as bussies, but he does it with like the whistle in the teeth. Or he's like, "Gotta get me some bussies." Going down to bussies to get.
I must find that drop. That is amazing.
No, Mitz, you must find that man and pay him as much as it takes to get him for an entire episode on this show.
Can you please link
I
me
will
up?
gladly give my spot in this sausage fest where we look like the 4 worst choices in a fighting game for that man to take my place and say whatever he wants.
It's just a little whistle. Gotta get me some barbecue down at Bussies.
I fucking love that. That's so great. All right. The One Piece anime. Okay. What am I talking about here? So there's been a lot of talk online because the Crunchyroll Awards just happened, and George Wada is not happy. So on April 16th, there was a conference about the long-term stability of the anime industry, and George Wada, who is basically the president of Production IG and Wit Studio, so not really a small name, is not happy with the Crunchyroll Awards and has proposed that Japan should have its own official anime award show led by Japanese anime professionals and for a domestic audience, free from any influence from Crunchyroll. I was like, damn, send it. So, of course, Crunchyroll's massive. It has 21 million subscribers, and that's a lot more than I would have thought, to be honest, considering it's probably not even available in all countries. Oh, I'm wrong.
It's not even in Japan.
I am incorrect. 200 countries worldwide, but the world only has 220 countries in it, so that's pretty much.
There are less countries in the UN than there are for Crunchyroll.
Crazy. What do you guys think about this statement? That he's, they talk. Well, here, let me finish it. So he talked about the very little Japanese influence when selecting and judging the anime themselves. So the nominees are selected by panelists, which are like journalists and like YouTubers and stuff like that, who often go for mainstream picks. So 73 million votes were cast in the Crunchyroll Awards this past year, and Japan wasn't even in the top 5 countries that voted. My take on that is that could be because Japan doesn't give a fuck about Crunchyroll, or possibly because, and probably not because of the lack of fans. It's just more that Crunchyroll probably doesn't have the kind of influence that it has in the U.S., Canada, the UK, probably stuff like that. But George Wada...
Why pay for Crunchyroll? Why pay for Crunchyroll in Japan if you could just turn on your television and then just watch?
As I said, you can't get Crunchyroll in Japan. You can't stream it there. It's region locked. It is not in Japan.
So one of the 20 countries that doesn't have Crunchyroll is the country that anime comes from?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
this guy's so stupid.
I mean, if you follow the money more than anything, it's just a massive middle finger to Sony. It's like we don't like
It's a Japanese company!
we don't like how you're doing things. Fuck you. We're gonna do something without you.
Oh my god.
Well, we'll get into it, obviously, with the topic itself, but I agree largely on the process that the Crunchyroll Awards has is dog shit, and I don't necessarily disagree with some of the winners, but I definitely disagree with a lot of the nominations, and sometimes the winners are just because, well, that's the best thing that was even put up for a vote. So I think having more real professionals behind the nomination process and selection process would be better. The other thing too is they do actually care about the Crunchyroll Awards, believe it or not. Like the people who win the Crunchyroll Awards actually take it as like a big deal because there is no other award that there really is for them. You know, there's like the Oscar Awards, like all these other random award shows, but Crunchyroll Awards is the only real like full product, like big produced anime award show. So
I mean, that makes
like
sense.
the directors, they care that they win, but that's because they don't have an alternative option.
Yeah, I mean, they're never going to win an Oscar, so... And, I mean, that's a big number of people. I mean, they got 21 million subscribers. I mean, that's a lot. That's pretty broad, so... Okay.
Yeah. I think we have a lot of other talking points that we will get to in our main topic that kind of stems around the awards as a whole. So, interesting point by George Wada. I don't disagree, but someone's going to do it.
I put my
Takes money.
I put my glasses on. I wanted to rizz up the chat, so...
I don't have glasses now.
I'm working on it, yeah. Well, oh yeah. Now
Fucking two eyes.
I look around my room like, oh, where am I going to find... No, I'm going to go with the biggest monocle ever.
Oh, nice. And Mason's holding
Good
up a
day.
magnifying glass the size of his head. All right. Raggedy Dodger's got some news.
Yeah, that's right. Voice actor Kenjiro Takada sues TikTok Kenjiro Tsuda sues TikTok for alleged unauthorized generative AI use of his
Oh my
voice.
god, what a fucking
So,
Chad.
Very famous voice actor has filed a lawsuit against it's not against just like TikTok itself, but it's mainly against the account that's using his voice, but TikTok is being sued to make them take it down. According to the lawsuit, there are 188 videos, at least between July 2024 and the filing of the lawsuit, that are using his voice for narration for random urban legends and trivia. So if you're on TikTok or Instagram, you've probably seen like the AI voiceovers for random bullshit slop videos. However, those videos are earning anywhere from 500,000 to 750,000 yen a month. So, you know, was it like $4,000 USD
Jeez.
a month to do nothing except steal Suda's voice, basically. TikTok is arguing that the voice in the narration is just a universal male voice created by training an AI to generate a friend's voice, but it was probably trained on Suda's voice because that's how generative AI works. Suda, for those who don't know, is credited with over 300 unique voice roles. He's known for voicing Nanami in Jujutsu Kaisen, Seto Kaiba in Yu-Gi-Oh!, Overhaul in MHA, and most recently, that's right, I snuck in some One Piece news. He is Figurland Shamrock in One
look at
Piece.
you. The man wearing the One Piece shirt.
Just gonna slip that in.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you go out in public in that shirt? And then when you do, where do you go?
This specific shirt, no.
Because you're
I
not
have
wearing
not.
that to work. You're not wearing that to a fancy restaurant.
This is the first time I have worn this shirt.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I was just like, is this you? Is this how you look when you're just like casually at like, you know, Kroger getting groceries? I mean, because that would be sick.
Actually, yes. Not this specific shirt, but generally speaking, yes.
He has 7 of those shirts, and he wears them every single day.
Yeah.
As far as this, I mean, AI bad, generative AI even badder, as the kids say. But if we can get that Bucky's boy, if we can get his voice in here,
Buffy?
okay, I take it all back.
Can you do it again, Buffy?
Busty. Gotta come down to get busty. Some barbecue. Get my busty.
Oh my lord. AI is gonna be the end of us all, and eventually I just want to learn how it works because the fact that like an AI can listen to a voice and like somehow copy it. I mean, what is it doing? Like hacking someone's Adobe Audition and editing it? I don't know how the fuck it does any of this shit. And someday I'd like to know, as I'm like, bowing down to my new overlords. So
Open up ChatGPT.
I just-
ChatGPT, how do you work?
it'll tell
say
you, but
that
I've asked it that.
I'd be very interested to see what the result of this lawsuit is, because that could be establishing some very important case law precedent for the future, especially with some of the older voice actors aging out, and with the popularity of their work, you never know. It's a very untapped what that future is going to look like. So I hope that whatever happens, it ends up on the side of the voice actors and not on fucking TikTok and generative AI. Because fuck them.
Wow. I agree.
Right in the pussy.
You can fuck them right in the pussy.
All right. What else we got for the news?
All
Otaku
right.
Cop.
Yep. And this is more Mason-driven news, because I'm going to talk a little bit about a movie. So the Wasted Chef anime film reveals teaser trailer and a manga adaptation. So the official website for director Takayuki Hirau's Magical Sisters Yo-Yo and Nene Wasted Chef anime film project opened on Sunday and revealed a teaser trailer, which I did watch, and it actually looks very good. I would actually pay money to see this in a theater. Takayuki Hiro animation studio Clap, character designer Shingo Adachi, and composer Kenta Matsukuma are all reuniting from the Pampo the Cinephile anime film for this Wasted Chef anime film. Variety noted in a recent report that it is slated for completion in 2027, and it is described as a young chef chasing a lost flavor lands in a ruined city without taste. Saved by Kasumi, his cooking awakens forgotten memories, but a dark force threatens to erase all desire, making his quest the last hope to save both worlds. And this film was one of the featured animated works in progress from around the world at the recent Annecy Animation Showcase, which is part of an expanded Cannes Animation Initiative, which ran from May 15th to 17th under Cannes' Marche du Film Marketplace.
Is that how you say that? Cons?
It's supposed to be Cannes.
Is it Canes?
No, it's
Why-
Cannes. And
why do we have to have
I
these-
believe the S is silent, too.
I hope that's someone's name, because if it isn't, they should not use a word that's that hard to pronounce. That's just my opinion. But by the way, the chatters were talking about. I guess Japan does have an award show, but I assume they're talking about the Tokyo Anime Award Festival. TAF. I mean, it literally, but like TAF only got 80,000 total fan votes in 2024. I mean, compared to like almost 100 million from Crunchyroll, so. Probably George Wada's talking about like something that people actually watch. I don't know.
And something with like, Oscar or Emmy level production behind it, not just like
Yeah,
an
exactly.
award that's given out. Like it's the show,
And like
the pomp and
investment, too.
circumstance.
Yeah, and like Crunchyroll, Sony obviously pours a lot of money into that show because they're getting like talent and stuff out there to do, whatever. So, okay, all right. Anything else? Yes. Okay, I guess we're
Get to
gonna.
our main topic. We've got a lot to talk about.
I can't wait.
2026.
Listen. I love some tea. When my wife brings me tea, I love it. I'm like, oh yeah, give me all the drama. I'm just gonna let you guys drive the car here, and I'm just gonna react. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna be the passenger princess.
We want to start with just the Crunchyroll Awards in general, how they run it, and our thoughts on their process before we get into the actual winners.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what is
I
the
think so.
process? How do they figure out what shows they're actually gonna have in the categories?
So they pick. The process is a little secretive. A lot of this information I've gleaned from one of the people who used to run the Crunchyroll Awards. His name is Miles. He does a podcast now with a few other AniTubers called Quest for the Best. If you want to give them some love, I guess. But I got most of my information from listening to him just talk about how they used to run it, and it sounds like it's still similar. They pick several, at this point, 100 people to nominate. There's a round of nominations that occurs that they used to have more communication. Now they just submit what shows they're nominating for each of the categories, and then the top ones get picked and are then passed out for listeners to vote on as many times as they can. The big issues I have with this is, one, the number of people that they have makes the categories very diluted. The fact that they don't interact and gives you some really weird entries, and it skews more towards stuff that's just popular.
Well, I have a question. What do you mean diluted? Can you explain that?
Because if you look through the list, because they do give you the list of like the 200 people, some of them are just random like influencers, and some of them are journalists, and some of them they're all over the place. So some of them have much more vast knowledge of anime, and some of them are just like the guy who watches, One Piece and has not watched anything else, but he has a lot of followers on TikTok. He gets a vote.
So you're saying they're not vetting these people? They're just grabbing people?
It doesn't.
So in this,
that sounds like that's what I heard.
The website says judges made up of industry veterans and anime content creators, which is as broad of a swath as you can get. But these hundreds of people, make their lists, but there's no coordination between them to be like, I think this show should be on there. Oh, I think this show, and we should work on making the list of the 6 shows that make the list. They just kind of pick from these very discombobulated lists that don't really properly capture the extent
there's no horse trading that happens.
Yeah.
Which is why you tend to see the categories you see. I also am not a fan of some of the categories just in general, because then you get things like best comedy, and you look down, you're like, some of these are not comedies. They have funny scenes, but I wouldn't call them a comedy. Same with best drama, best romance. The way that they kind of fill out the categories gets very wibbly and wobbly. So that's my issue with just the process.
I think the biggest question I have, and the biggest secret backdoor thing that Crunchyroll does here, is that they say, and people vote for these things. You can vote up to once per day, and you can actually they have a button to just resubmit your ballot every day with just one click. But the way that it's actually determined as to what wins, it's not a most number of votes wins, because the jury, a panelist of people, vote alongside the fans to determine the winner, without any distribution of, there's this percent of the votes comes from the experts, this percent comes from the fan. It's all in the dark. We actually don't know how a show wins.
Yeah, they don't tell us. The closest knowledge we have, again, is coming from that source, Miles, who used to run it. Last time he ran it, I think, was 4 or 5 years ago. And what he said was every year the percentage of fan vote actually shrunk. So when it first started, it was 50-50. And when he left, it was 70% judges, 30% fan vote. We have no idea what it is now. Best guess is it's similar to what it used to be, but for all we know, it's 90-10 fan vote. We have no idea.
Yeah. Now, that said, the questions on how this process works aside, if I'm Crunchyroll, if I am that entity, I don't know if I have any reason to change this. The point of this award show really isn't to legitimize these shows. It's to loudly proclaim anime is Crunchyroll. My brand, my Crunchyroll, is what anime is. And I release these things, and for better or worse, I drive a ton of engagement, a ton of traffic, a ton of discourse to Crunchyroll as the anime entity, and that's the point of these things. So, for all our quabbles about, this show should have won instead, or how dare this show not even get nominated, we're talking about it, and Crunchyroll just continues to proliferate, and then continue to get millions and millions of subscribers, votes, and everything that drives their business forward. So I don't know if it's a problem from a industry standpoint. I think it's an issue from this is saying this is the best you're going to get, and just it becomes a popularity contest from a cultural aspect. But we can get into all that later.
firing shots. I mean, I personally hate the fact that we don't have much transparency over the qualifications of who's making these decisions. For all we know, because everything is so engagement driven, they pick some influencers or proclaimed experts who've got millions of followers or whatever, but in reality they're probably tourists who've watched a grand total of 10 shows, and these are the people that are deciding what falls into these categories. I don't like the lack of transparency, and I think it could be very easy to just leave everything to a combined weight of fan vote and expert nomination, but they'll never do that because I think you're hitting the nail on the head, Mason. What they want to drive is engagement. They thrive off of being a little spicy because they are the only real game in town. High Dive isn't real competition. Amazon isn't real competition. Really, the only competition that Crunchyroll even remotely has is Netflix, and they even share licenses on a lot of the major titles. So until somebody comes up with something better and is an actual competitor to Crunchyroll, we're all going to be held hostage by this absolute shit show of a company.
Netflix overtook Crunchyroll recently for the #1 anime streaming platform. So it's actually not even Crunchyroll anymore. But anyway.
Well, is that in terms of viewers or number of shows?
I think what they did was
Amount of anime hours viewed.
and there was a component of that where they asked people like from different countries which service they use predominantly for anime viewing, and more people said Netflix. That's how they did it. That's also how they did it. But anyway, what's next?
Should we start with the big boy?
Yeah, I think we
Just work our way down.
our way down. I will say right off the bat, like, I'm not the person who watches a lot of popular shows. I'm not the intended audience of these awards, so I will do my best, but understand that like a lot of these shows are
Mason.
just I've dropped them. I don't care. So I will.
Don't worry.
lean
That's
on you
why.
guys
That's
for
why the
opinions.
lizard brain is here to
The
save the
hive
day.
mind. Yeah, perfect.
All right, so get on with it.
Anime of the year. Your nominees were Dan Dan Season 2, Gachi Yakuda, My Hero Academia The Final Season, Taco Piece Original Sin, The Apothecary Diaries Season 2, and The Summer Hikaru Died. The winner from the Crunchyroll Awards was My Hero Academia The Final Season, which, given the list, is extremely unsurprising. It's a popularity contest. This was the most watched show on this list. It was the final season, so people who watched the show were even more invested. Does it deserve to win? I don't think so, but I am not surprised in the slightest.
I would have thought Dawn to Dawn, honestly. I think that's what I predicted. That was my guess.
Not a bad guess, but My Hero Academia was
Oh, it's
a
just because it's the
bigger
last
thing.
season.
Well, when
The
you say
final
more
season.
watched, defined by because like its Mel numbers are lower than the others, but it has that My Hero Academia name, which has been watched cumulatively across more people for
Yeah.
longer. So it's
Oh, come
It's
on.
got the name recognition.
got the name recognition, and I think final season carries a lot of weight to
Yes.
the end of an era.
Yeah, I think I think My Hero is kind of leaning into the fact that people are going to feel a little nostalgic. I think there's some nostalgia vote.
I will also say that probably since the first season, this was the best season of My Hero. So I'm not terribly upset. My personal pick would have been, well, what we picked, or what our listeners picked, which was Taco Piece Original Sin. That was my anime of the year.
And I'm glad it got nominated. I'll give it that.
I'm shocked it got nominated, actually.
Taco Cop's been shaking his head no to a lot of things over here. That's what I'm saying.
So first off, I agree. The My Hero win is strictly nostalgia based and kind of like a thanks for everything you did for anime as a whole. Here, you win. The fact that Taco P still won, though, I just think that a lot of you need therapy, antidepressants, and a hug. Because
You're not wrong.
I will
certainly
say,
not wrong.
in a similar mindset, I'm super glad to see The Summer Hikaru Died getting a nominee here, because there's a handful of more popular shows I could have seen it taking its place, and I wonder if, once again, we don't know how this got nominated. Did it get more votes than everything else? Did people just say, oh, we need some more culturally refined thing, so it's just not shonen across the board? I don't know, but I'm glad to see it there because it definitely deserves some amount of love.
Spice meter low.
I think the
Low,
two biggest snubs, from different camps. Biggest snub from a popular show. How come this isn't on here?
Solo leveling.
Is Solo Leveling. The other one is Orb.
Orb.
Nobody
watched Orb. Come on.
I'm not from a popularity perspective, but from a quality show deserving to be nominated. Those are my two biggest snubs for this category.
Because you have to remember, and for hindsight, this is the 2026 Crunchyroll Awards, which means they're talking about shows that aired in 2025. And Solo Leveling Season 1 crushed the Crunchyroll Awards when it came out. Partially, I think, in part because Season 2 was coming out and was straight gas, and people were so hyped on it that it was driving up stuff. So you would want to see Season 2 of Solo Leveling get the same amount of love. If it's better than Season 1, people love it. Why was it not here?
Cowardice. We already discussed this. I'm talking crap when I did this already.
Everything is cyclical.
Time is a flat circle.
Cowardice is what it is.
It'll show up later. We'll talk about it.
Mason, you want to talk about movies?
Yeah, Film of the Year. Nominees were 100 Meters, Chainsaw Man, the movie Razor Arc, Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, Mononoke the movie Chapter 2, Scarlet, and The Rose of Versailles.
Oh my god, bro. This list is only two of these even matter.
Another place in France with a silent S at the end. The winner was Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle.
Bullshit! Come on.
Again, are you really? Are you surprised?
Yeah, that Razor Arc movie was fucking crazy good. It was so good.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Demon Slayer did quintuple the revenue of that movie. It was in theaters longer. It's
more money, more better. Obviously.
Look, I'm not surprised that Demon Slayer won.
Better. Yeah. There's a lot of newer anime fans that Demon Slayer is the gateway, and you can't understate the importance of a franchise like that. I think this particular award got it right from a production standpoint. I thought it was good. I saw it in theaters. I've seen Reze. If you were to ask me to give my honest evaluation of both side by side, I thought the Demon Slayer movie was better.
Oh, come on.
So the Chainsaw Man movie won our awards for this year. Mm-hmm. So you have that going for you, Mitz. But I feel like a lot of what Otaku just said about Demon Slayer could be said for My Hero Academia. It was a shonen torchbearer that brought a lot of people into anime and has general good production values and gets the people going. And it just amasses a big fan base. And that's enough to win.
Listen.
I watched 4 of these movies. Mm-hmm. I saw 100 Meters, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, and Scarlet. We'll be doing a review of Scarlet on Shonen Showdown, so stay tuned for that.
Boy, you better be watching those Mononoke movies. They're on Netflix. The third one's coming out soon. They're so good.
But I would say I prefer Chainsaw Man. 100 Meters is a fantastic film, though, so it does deserve its flowers. I love Demon Slayer. It was a fun movie. It is not the best movie of the year.
See, here's my thing. You know what? It's just we got a little scared. We didn't want to put Solo Leveling in the best of the year again because it was gonna probably take it, and then you get made fun of. But then you're gonna put Demon Slayer and all over the place in the awards. It'll take everything else. In the absence of a Solo Leveling, there will always be a Demon Slayer to sweep it.
If I remember correctly, there is a different show that took home most awards, which I guess we'll get to a little bit later. After I have a small brain aneurysm over the next one.
Yeah, let's get to it.
I haven't looked yet.
Otaku, can you do it? Because I don't think I can bring myself to
I will gladly do it because this one gave me a small aneurysm as well. So the next category was Best Original Anime. The nominees were Apocalypse Hotel,
That was okay.
Digimon Beat Break, Lazarus, Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quux, Moonrise, and Zenshu.
Can I just? All right, I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna look at the list.
You don't want to. The winner was fucking Lazarus.
Sorry,
I just think
that
a
was
lot of these aren't.
the last brain cell in my head dying.
How does Moonrise get in here? That wasn't even good.
It was better than fucking Lazarus.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, and I didn't think Gundam G-Quux was very good either, to be honest.
It was better than Lazarus.
Everything on this list is exponentially better than Lazarus. Everything.
Like I said, I think my Watanabe's done. Like he's like, just retire, bro. It's over. You're embarrassing yourself.
This is the biggest proof of any that it's just eyeballs and knowledge of the show existing equal votes. It's like, oh, I heard that was on commercials in America. I've seen that. That's a thing.
See, this is a perfect example of where I think some of these awards are paid for awards. Because if I'm not mistaken, this one's streamed on what
the fuck?
HBO? HBO Max, I think, is where it's streamed on.
Was it HBO
threw-
Max? HBO Max?
HBO
What's the new
Max,
name?
Max,
Are they
whatever
Jeff
the
now?
fuck it's called.
HBO
Somebody
Jeffrey.
paid money for this to win because there's no way anybody that watched either Apocalypse Hotel or Zenshu can look you in the face with an honest smile and say, "Yeah, I thought Lazarus was better." There's no fucking way.
It's a numbers
just no
game,
way.
man. I'm telling you, it's a
Yeah,
pure
money.
numbers game.
It's a paid for award. That's what that is.
Let me see. I'm looking up so Lazarus has 250,000 Mal members. And then by comparison, Apocalypse Hotel, let's see how much that
Well,
has.
what I can't get over the fact is how mid the whole list is.
Well, that's a different problem. That's a problem with us not having enough original shows
Well,
worth.
but then fucking
their
get rid of
salt.
just get rid of the category then. It's like Moonrise has a 6.3 on Mal. No one liked that. Digimon had what the fuck did Digimon have?
Well, Apocalypse Hotel had an 8.02, but also had less than 80,000 people who watched it.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
I think it's a numbers game. It's Lazarus was the thing that most people had heard of. That's what most people then just voted for.
That's people must. Well, you know what's funny about that statement? Because I'm looking up Lazarus here. How many people? 251K
Yeah,
for
it's a lot.
Lazarus. Well,
And that's what happened with what was it, Ninja Kamui last year? Another absolute dog shit dumpster fire show that just a lot of people watched.
wow.
For listeners playing bingo at home, this is your one mention of Ninja Kamui for the year. So
So
And then next year you'll hear me mention it again with Lazarus.
Yeah.
As I complain about who wins best original next year.
you know what's interesting to me is that like looking at this, we're talking about like people recognize the name Lazarus, so they voted for it or they went and saw it. Literally everybody has heard of Mobile Suit Gundam, but somehow based on that logic, it still loses. And I go and I look up and I say, okay, well, if Lazarus has 250K, how many does G-Quux have? And I pull it up. It's just a sad 63,000 on here. Gundam and Mecha is so done. Like, it may never come back. Think about how bad that is. That's like basically saying the premiere Gundam show for the year, no one watched it.
I mean, Digimon Beat Break had 200 had 25,000, and that's
Well,
it.
25,000. Holy. Well, that's why Lazarus won.
The only thing that had any competition in sheer eyeballs was Zenshu at 175,000.
I mean, I think that's probably why. Yeah.
Anyway, I think for the rest of these, we could probably skip some of the nominees just to get through them faster because those were the bigger awards, at least.
yeah.
I'll quickly do the One Piece award. I mean, the best continuing series award, which went to One Piece because that's what this award is there for. It's going to win every year in perpetuity.
Does it always win?
It wins pretty much every year.
That is so funny.
It feels like this award was just made so that they could
But-
give something to One Piece every year.
But wait a second. This is so fucking dumb. You know how dumb this shit is? So, My Hero Academia final season wins the overall best anime of the year, right? But it's literally in this category, losing to One Piece.
One Piece wasn't nominated for best anime of the year.
Well,
That's why they can't do that because it'll win every year.
Get some fucking balls and just put the things up that people like. You know, why are you trying to go? Why are we guardrailing what we pick? Like, if more people like One Piece than any other show every year, then it's the best show every year. I really believe that. Fuck it.
Even better, best
Music in my
continuing
ears.
series to me is a show that is continuing. And if I guess they all can't be Attack on Titan, but if it's My Hero Academia's final season,
Oh, it's
it's
the end.
not continuing.
Wow.
Well, but then it did with more episodes that have continued to come out afterwards.
Spin-offs, baby.
OVAs, spin-offs, let's go.
Just you wait till next year. My spicy take is that One Piece, the Wit remake, One Piece will now become the first title to win Best New Series and Best Continuing Series in the same year.
One Piece and The One Piece.
That's right.
You love to
I have
see
a
it.
similar gripe, I guess, with the next entry, which is Best New Series, which is obviously trying to weed out any sequels from getting priority, which is good.
Yeah.
That's fine. Gotcha Yakuta won that. Sure, why not? But then you have stuff like
Really?
Takopi's Original Sin in there,
Wow.
which is a new thing, but I'm not expecting season 2 of that
Nobody
show.
fucking
Like,
watched it.
it's not a series; it's a it's a show. So
Right.
Oh, that's not true. Wow. Takapi had way more people watch it than I would have expected. Wow.
6
Takapi was
episodes will help.
it was one of those shows where it's like a few people watched it and then started like yelling about it into the void, and then more and more people just like picked up on it.
Interesting.
And not for nothing, I don't know if you all were paying attention to anime discourse this past week, but the Gachi Akuta fandom has managed to bully the creator off of all of social media.
What?
Specifically the Western fans. There's they basically were, how do I word this? They were expressing their opinions as to orientation and identity of characters in the show.
Okay.
And the creator
Oh my
basically
goodness.
said, "No, you're wrong. That person's identity is this. This person's orientation is this." And they basically then started to say that she was appropriating and she was racist.
Oh,
and
it's a
so
woman?
she just deactivated her shit.
Yeah. Kei Uraha, I think.
Yeah,
That's
she basically
crazy.
just deactivated her shit. And
why
that
deal
fandom
with
is
stress?
eating itself. The fandom is literally eating itself.
Somehow we have a fandom that's more toxic than the My Hero Academia fandom.
They are
Throwing
so
themselves
more
down the
toxic.
hole.
They can't help themselves. It's literally like a snake eating its tail.
Okay. Gachi Akuta was pretty good. I feel like this is a good. Unlike the last one, I feel like all the shows in this category I feel like are good.
You haven't watched Sakamoto Days.
Yeah,
I have
besides
watched-
Sakamoto.
I thought it was funny. I did watch most of that, or I watched it.
It was fun.
I think I finished.
It was
The manga was just so much better that it was hard not to get
Oh my
let
God.
down.
Yeah. Manga
Do we want to
was
jump
Private
to
Test was good.
Best Action?
Yeah.
yeah. Let Mitz have this one.
Best Action, we have Dandadan, Gachakuda, Kaiju number 8, My Hero Academia, One Piece, and the winner, Solo Leveling Season 2.
Of course. Come on.
If there's one thing Solo Leveling is going to
Oh
win,
my god, yeah.
it's going to be this. All action. All action.
I will rub my balls all over the action and animation in Solo Leveling. You've heard it.
And this did win our AAA podcast award as well. So Solo Leveling,
Yeah.
I guess it brings people together. It's the glue that holds the anime
It's
fandom
just so-
together.
The one thing we can all agree on
It's
that's,
the one
that there
thing.
is in fact good action in the action show.
Listen, Gene Woo is just so smexy. I mean, what else do you want me to say, honestly? So,
The
it
aura
what
is
it
real.
It is what it is. He's got the Leon Kennedy effect. You know what I mean?
But what you're telling me is when you watch Solo Leveling Season 2, Jinwoo makes you arise.
Listen, I'm usually watching Soul Leveling in Hot Works, cycling in the sauna. I want to be sweating from the sauna. That way, when people come in, they'll be like, they won't know that I'm really sweating because of Gene Woo. Now, honestly, I'll already be in the sauna.
It's all a
Have-
ruse.
Have any of you seen the Alex Lee bloopers for the Arise scene?
Yes.
If I highly recommend it. For one of them, he just goes erect. It's very, very funny.
Meanwhile, Mitch is sweating his ass off at the gym, all bricked up, watching season 2.
He's like, already there, brother.
Jesus, I was in Hot Works the other day, and I did like 5 minutes more than I should have. And I think the girl that saw me thought I was gonna die. I think she was about to go on ambulance. That's literally how ridiculous this shit was.
All right.
What's next?
Let's do
Tantalize me.
Let's do best comedy because I have a bone to pick with this award.
Oh, I have a huge bone to pick. You and I probably have the same bone.
How big of a bone?
I have a bone to pick with just
Let's
the
just say
comedy
it's
genre.
erect.
I condemn this whole genre, to be honest, but
Yes.
So the winner of best comedy for the Crunchyroll Awards was Don Don season 2.
it's not
And
a comedy.
Thank you.
What the
Look,
fuck?
why is this here? It's funny,
Suck my
I guess,
ballsack.
but and
It
like
had-
even some of the other ones.
Oh my! I am gonna rage. How does City not win this? Are you kidding?
Honestly, how does
You
City not win
cannot be
every
serious.
award?
I've seen all of these fucking shows. Witch Watch. Well, how does this happen? I don't even like comedy anime. I saw at least half of Witch Watch for sure. I watched all of Ramna. That show, Ramna's good, but it's just so fucking dumb. Like I don't know, it's so
also-
dumb most of the time.
That's the point, though. It's supposed to be.
I get it. I saw.
At least it's a comedy. At least it's actually
okay, wait a
belonging
second.
in the genre.
Dress Up Darling season 2, definitely not as good as the first season. There's no way. Dawn to
No,
Dawn.
hold on. Whoa. Let me stop you there. You're 100% wrong. Season 2 was better.
What?
But also not a comedy.
Not a
It's
comedy. It wasn't funny.
Dress Up
I
Darling.
mean, it was
not a comedy.
It has humorous moments. Getting a chuckle out of me once does not make a show a comedy.
Are you talking about Dress Up Darling?
Yes, it's not a comedy.
That shit wasn't. You like that it went from like a romance comedy to like a fucking cosplay series. What the fuck? I don't know.
I think it went the opposite way. I thought season 1 was too focused on cosplay shenanigans.
City
but
should have won
whatever,
this.
that's-
There's no love for KyoAni. It's
For us, it was 100 Girlfriends.
Because
was
we have,
what I
we have
was-
a based listener. that is so based.
so.
And also,
funny.
again, at least it's a fucking comedy.
How does
and
our
it
pick? Our pick doesn't even get on their list.
Our
That is
listeners
so
are so
funny.
based. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, unironically.
All right, keep going.
I mean,
all right,
there's a lot of just very typical awards here. Best Isekai is the ReZero Award, as per usual.
Really? Okay, wait a second though. There really is not much else.
Well, it was isekai / fantasy because there wasn't enough to like fill out either
How the fuck?
category. It seems like.
I'm just trying
Right?
to like
Or
find
is-
it.
Oh no! Sorry, never mind. This is pure isekai.
Yeah,
I
pure
apologize.
Isekai, and there was nothing on this besides ReZero that had anything. Like Zenshu was fine compared to like a Konosuba bonus stage thing, but like there was no competition in the Isekai thing. This
I
is
think-
even worse than the best original.
I think you got to put Clevitas in here. It should have been
Clevitas
there.
It's not a isekai.
I thought you said it was fantasy or isekai.
I was incorrect.
Okay.
We in the
Well-
AAA podcast fuse our Isekai and fantasy because they're fundamentally the same.
They are. What the fuck? So okay, wait a second. So when a guy goes, so when like a dude gets killed and he goes to the fantasy world to be like a magician or some shit, we're gonna try to say that's not fantasy.
That
No,
wasn't
we
Clevitas.
are. Our podcast makes it.
No,
work.
I know. I'm talking about Crunchyroll.
They're too dumb. Of course they're not. They're
Okay.
not smart
Look,
enough
I'm just
for
happy
that.
that Disneyland. I'm just happy the Disney show didn't win. I could not have handled that.
Oh, in that case,
I would not
May
have
I
been
skip
okay.
down? May I skip down a little
Oh,
bit because
no.
I want.
Please.
I can't
I think-
handle this today.
I think Mason knows where I'm going with
I
this one.
can't handle it.
Best main character. Your winner is Mao Mao from the Apothecary
Okay, I
Diaries,
don't care about that.
winning over Sung Jin Woo. Does it make you a little upset?
No,
No, he knows. He knows it's an action show and not a
Listen.
character show.
I mean these are so like. I just think this whole list is so uninspired. Honestly, like I know we're talking about the result, but it's like Midoriya really again, and then like Mao Mao. Okay, we've seen her. Momo. Okay, old hat. Okarune's old hat. by putting them both in there, neither of them can win.
They vote split. Yep.
It's so stupid.
It's a very lukewarm list.
Rudo was okay as a character. And Sun Jin-woo, he's not even a fucking character. He's just daddy walking around.
He's just abs incarnate.
He doesn't have a personality, but Mao Mao, come on. You're fucking killing me.
Best supporting character. This is I'm fully okay with this. Bakugo from My Hero wins best supporting character.
You are.
That's right.
Of course you got. Number one.
Am I wrong?
Murder God.
Am I wrong?
Number
Raggedy,
one.
typical Baku boy over here.
That's right. I'm sorry. Which character from Solo Leveling would you have put in? Can you name one?
None. This list is appropriate.
Listen, I can't.
This list is appropriate.
I wouldn't have been able to give you a name even if I knew what they looked like, because I can't remember names from anime at all. Like 2 weeks after I finished watching it, I forget all the names immediately. I don't know if you guys are like that, but
I'm with you. But can we also take a moment to talk about arguably the worst named category, the must protect at all cost character?
God.
Why is this still
so
here?
cringe.
Why don't they just call it the Anya Forger category?
It's also
Same with
just
best continuing One Piece anime.
But they're trying to be serious too, and
That
then
is
like
so unfortunate.
they include this shit. Like, come on.
They need to do what we do when we do our waifu wars, where we extract past winners from the pool, because it's almost like the same character will keep on winning if they keep on getting nominated. And then people will be like, oh, well, of course she wins. She's that person who wins. Let me vote for her again, because it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I don't.
Also, a lot of these characters are fully capable of protecting themselves. Like you don't need to protect Midoriya. I think he's gonna be fine.
What the fuck is he even doing in this category? Like,
I don't know.
He started off
Maybe
as a
because
baddie.
Maybe because of how it ended, he needs to be protected now because of certain developments.
No, but he doesn't though, because they fixed that
I know,
too.
I know they fix it, but I'm just saying I don't get it either. I don't know why. Okay, listen. Maybe it's because this is Crunchyroll acknowledging that certain people in the anime community can be very weird and inappropriate. So it's like, instead of making it the must protect at all costs character, how about exempt from looting character maybe? I don't know.
Exempt from looting?
Yes, don't lewd the child.
Please
Oh,
don't
lewd.
the
I thought
child.
you said loot. Like, like
No,
a
lewd.
body.
Lewd. Don't lewd.
Don't loot the child either.
I understand this. So, like, the must protect thing, like, it would be challenging to explain to a normal person what that even means, because there's such nuance to it. And I don't know how I feel about the fact that I just fully understand what this is going for, but to me, yeah, this category, you gain nothing from having it here. And it's a part of animes, I think, that I grew out of like 20 years ago. So, oh man. But all seriousness, how does Kaoruko not win this?
Because Anya's in the category. That's why.
Yeah.
Because I would protect
And
Kaoruko.
you also had Suika in the category, which there's a big part of the Dr. Stone fan.
Well, who the fuck cares about her?
She also
people.
If you watched enough of the show, you also know she does not need to be protected.
That
No,
show
she does not.
stopped being good like 50 episodes ago. Who even cares?
Me, mostly.
I mean, we loved that show, and it just shit itself so hard. Anyway.
Yeah.
I do want to roll back up really quickly just to express probably the biggest catastrophe in my book, which is best background art.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Going to Gachi Akuda, compared to, once again, City of the Animation, a show where if you literally just showed me background art for 22 minutes.
It's fucking amazing.
With no characters, I still would have been sold on it.
Yeah, me too. What the fuck?
It is one of the most immaculately looking shows ever. And you just...
In Gachi Akuda's very mild defense, I don't think it should have won, but
it's not like it's awful, but...
Well, it's got this like cool, punk, graffiti aesthetic.
Downtrodden world. Like, it's a cool world. I'm not saying that, but like, how do you express that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is also a direct reflection of the manga awards that it won. Like, it is arguably one of the more popular mangas, especially between Gachiakuda and Witch Hat, they get a lot of discourse for just how well drawn they are. So I could have almost predicted that when I saw Gachiakuda in this category, I automatically knew it was going to win. The others just didn't stand a chance.
It's not surprising.
Can I make a hot take?
Do it.
So my hot take is, I think anime. I don't want to be offensive. I don't know. I think anime fans are very short-term memory based. I'll say so. Like you got this category, fine. I've seen quite a few of these. Actually, I certainly watched Gachiakuda. It does have interesting artwork, both for the characters and the backgrounds. But City the Animation, with it being Kyoto Animation, this is Kyoto Animation, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Would have won this award every single year before the arson attack. But I think that this studio just came back recently, and I think that like the anime fans that are voting now don't even know who KyoAni is, and they don't have the same love for it because they haven't been riding the KyoAni high. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I think City would win it. Would win this one.
It also doesn't help that it was on Prime, I think.
Yeah, it was in a weird spot.
Yeah, so like again, it's a problem of eyeballs just being on it.
Anyway, that's my hot take. I hope you liked it. Mason loves a hot take.
I do. We haven't had enough this episode, but
Oh, really?
come on.
I'm trying, bro.
What are we doing? No. I appreciate you adding to the fire. I mean, obviously, best score, Ushio got robbed. I don't even need to specify which series he did work in because anything
doesn't matter.
Ushio touches is phenomenal.
Let's see. Is there any other like really just stupid categories too?
No.
Can you speak to any of the best English voice acting performances?
Yeah, I can. And Sun Jin Woo, Alex Lee, is not even nominated. You fucking Philistines! It's the only thing worthwhile in that show besides the animation. He elevated that show. I gave Solo Leveling an extra half point on our review purely for his dub performance alone, and he's not even nominated. Fuck you, Crunchyroll. How about that?
Did you say Philistines?
Yes.
I have no idea what that means.
Because you're
I'm being genuine. I whatever you just said, I didn't hear it, and I'm probably happy.
Of the winners, the people who actually won, I mean, yeah, like it's fine. But if you look through the other voice actor winners, Akaza, the character, wins most of them because again, it's Demon Slayer, and people said, well, Demon Slayer. I'm just gonna vote for the Demon Slayer. I will also say Justin Briner, the voice of Midoriya, his best performance this year was not in My Hero. It was in the apology that he read.
But how? Okay.
Which again, if you haven't, just search his name, Justin Briner apology. It's very good.
And can I just my personal you fucking Philistines category? Best anime song. So you look at the list, it's a decent list, right? But Clevites had fucking Destiny, which is written and sung by a multi-Grammy Award nominee and winner in Ellie Goulding, and you left her off the fucking list. Destiny clears every single fucking song on this list by far. Fucking
nah, they got this one right. Iris Out was so good.
No.
Destiny
is way better than fucking Iris Out.
I know the answer to this question, but I'm wondering how the hell you even have Akaza on this list. I mean, it's Demon Slayer, right? And that's the villain, right? So
there's a a lot of screen time.
Yeah,
no,
screaming.
No.
He's just screaming loudly because it's shonen fighting anime.
You're wrong, because you didn't watch the movie, so you don't know what happened.
Yeah, but I know he's going to spend many minutes fighting. Is what I do know.
We spent like 40 minutes on his backstory, which was probably too long, but he has a very long amount of like just genuine speaking role.
All right, is there anything else?
Best director going to Apothecary's Diary Season 2 instead of The Summer Hikaru Died. Come on, man.
Or Takapi's.
I don't think Takapi won anything, which is also a shame.
Takapi didn't win anything. Games didn't win anything.
There isn't even a single fucking nomination for Cinderella Grey.
Yeah. Oh my God. Does that just kill you? Is that
It does.
just too
It
much?
hurts.
Razzles his berries.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think
up.
season 2 might get more love since it ended this year. So next awards.
Wait, no. It all ended. It was all 2025, my guy.
2025, yeah. Our girl Ogre Cap got fucked over.
Even then, it would have had to exist in the minds of people for 9 extra months to get there. And as Schmidt said, people forget real quick.
Even Solo Leveling couldn't survive 9 months.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Ogre Cat, it's no Taiki Shuttle, gotta say. Yep.
Man speaks
All right.
the truth.
Nope.
All right, we
Thank you
gotta
guys
get it.
for listening with that.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here, you people. Crazy animals. So I'm gonna read the damn question.
In Sentenced to be a Hero, what kind of literature does Xylo Forbarts enjoy? We'll let you know after a quick news break, so stay tuned.
All right, Anime Addicts, let's do this. It's time for your anime news break. Getting us started off, we have a major anime streaming site getting shut down here permanently. So, after being offline for nearly 3 months, the major streaming site Hi Anime has announced that it's going to be shutting down for good. So, it was one of the latest streaming sites to go dark in March after there was a big push by copyright holders to crack down on illegal anime streaming. And one of these was also 9 Anime, which we talked about on the podcast, a huge one. And it's already back up, so that's a different story. But according to the Discord team for Hi Anime, they have said that they concluded that the website shall not be returning and has ceased operations permanently. So that is after 80 days of being dark. So one anime streaming site has bitten the dust due to the copyright holders cracking down, and we'll see if more are to follow as time passes. Next up in the news, some acquisition going on in the anime industry. Unext Holdings has acquired all of the outstanding shares of production Go Hands and has become the sole owner of it and making it a wholly owned subsidiary. So it looks like Unext aims to combine the capabilities of its streaming platform with Go Hands' animation expertise, creating a structure that will be able to create original IP development, animation production, etc. So Go Hands was founded in 2008 and is known for titles including the Student Council staff members, K, Handshakers, Marduk, Scramble, and others. But it has now been acquired by Unext, which has outlined several areas of synergy from the acquisition, which if you want to read more about it online, you can. But looks like some strategic business purposes for Go Hands in this acquisition. Next up, the 3rd season of Doro Hate Doro has been announced. So on that 11th episode, which has happened already for season 2, they announced that there is indeed another season coming out. The first season of Doro Hate Doro came out from MAPPA in 12 episodes back in 2020, and the sequel, of course, just came out. So you can watch that right now. And if you're a fan of Doro Hate Doro, look out because there's going to be more coming out. I don't believe there was a date given, but I assume sometime maybe next year. And lastly in the news, scriptwriter Takao Koyama announced on their X account that Hiroyuki Kawasaki has passed away at the age of 60. So Hiroyuki Kawasaki, very big writer in the anime industry, began gaining recognition back in 1993 for Irresponsible Captain Tyler. Also, After War Gundam X, some content related to Gundam, and was also scriptwriting other properties like Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, Braided Blade of the Immortal, Psychic Detective Yakumo, and others. So just a sad death to see in the anime industry, dying at only 60. That is Hiroyuki Kawasaki. This was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. And now, as we do, it's time to get back to the podcast. Well, in the world, inflation is kicking everybody's butt everywhere you look, and now gas prices are high as well. But there's hope. you can get entertainment galore by helping out the podcast on our Patreon page, patreon.com/AAAPodcast, where we bring you inflation-free content offerings. We have not increased the prices of this content since we first released it, which was over 10 years ago. So stick it to the man and get yourself some inflation-free love over at our Patreon page, patreon.com/AAAPodcast. And you're going to be getting all the hentai, you're going to get all the hobby addicts, you'll hear us talk about our game addictions, and of course the after parties as well. So don't miss it. Head over to our Patreon and support the podcast. Welcome back to the pod. He's getting down to that. I got a standing desk in my office. So I'm in here all day. And then I podcast in here too. And like, I got this standing desk and it's so good for podcasting. I'm just kind of leaning on it. It's kind of nice. Incentives to be...
Desk, so good.
Oh, it's so good. Everybody should get a standing desk there. Yeah. All right. In Sentence to Be a Hero, what kind of literature does Xylo Forsbars, God, these names are bad, enjoy? Poetry. And what the fuck is the girl's name? Tritney or something?
Rita.
Rita. She's so surprised.
Xylo 4 Bar sounds like a great rapper name.
It's just a bad name is what it is. It's got too many V's and Z's in it. All right, you animals, mailbags.
It's time for an almighty anime
Prosomo
mailbag.
again. This guy's
anime.
Animal.
Anime.
Mailbag. If you want to leave a mailbag, AAAPodcast.com/mailbag. Yep, you can do that. You can do hentai mailbags. You can suggest topics, all sorts of things. Prosomo. Who wants to read Prosomo's mailbag?
I can do it.
Can you do it in the voice of that Buc-ee's guy?
I sure can.
Oh, that's so great.
Prosomo is never going to emotionally recover from this.
Keep in mind, for reference, it's supposed to be kind of a take on Matthew McConaughey's voice a little bit with a little bit of a whistle. So, all right, Chow. After watching the recent documentary Stranger Things Season 5 and understanding why that was one of the biggest letdowns, if an anime were to receive a behind-the-scenes documentary, which one would you choose, and what specific questions would you hope to have answered at Bussy?
At Bussy. Their barbecue sandwiches are fucking good. Have you all had Buc-ee's before?
They don't have them. Actually, they're building one 30 miles from my house. It'll be the first one to open in Maryland.
I have not.
Nope. Mason!
I know. One day,
you of all
we'll
people.
do an Anime Addicts Anonymous big meetup where we all invade Tennessee and crash your party. And
the jacuzzi.
We'll do
the jacuzzi cast.
The closest I have been to Buc-ee's is 163 miles. And I know that exactly because Buc-ee's is the only place where they have billboards on the highway that lets you know how far away you are, up to hundreds of miles away. That's how culturally significant they are. That they are like, you know what? This person's 300 miles away. They probably want to know exactly how far they are away at this point in time.
Yeah, they say dumb shit too. Those billboards, they'll say some dumbass shit on them. Say
whatever they want.
Okay. So the question, Prosomo's question.
You want a behind-the-scenes documentary about an anime? What anime and why? I'm doing Shirobako just for the meta of an anime about making anime. Then we get a documentary about the anime about making anime, which also itself sometimes talks about. I just feel like we need to go deeper.
Well, but then you get the podcast about the documentary about
Exactly. Then I can talk about it, and then someone can just. I don't know. I feel like I always love behind the scenes. I love documentaries. Almost any anime, I would love to see about why they made the decisions they did and how things worked for better or worse. And Shirobako was the first one that came to mind.
For me, it's got to be either Uzumaki or One Punch Man Season 3, both notorious dumpster fire productions, not just from what we saw, but from everything we've heard at all about what happened behind the scenes. Everyone fighting with everyone all the time, and I just want to watch the blame game.
You want to see why things are burning down and why things went wrong.
Which even in that documentary, you wouldn't know. You would just see everyone saying why the other person's to blame, and that's what I want.
That documentary is like watching a Titanic documentary where you're like, I know where this goes. I've read the spoilers.
But I just can't look away.
I'm going to let them enjoy season 1 in their episode 1 in their optimism. What about you, Otaku?
Right. I chose Dandadan because I want to see the voice cast interact on camera, especially when the more humorous moments are taking place. I feel like that would be a fun thing to watch, but I also want to see them watch the dancer episode and just watch them all become sobbing puddles of tears, just like me. So maybe it's a little bit of a interesting choice, but I still think it would be a cool thing to see kind of behind the scenes. A little less meta, a little less dumpster fire, just for funsies.
So is it supposed to...
Go ahead.
Is it supposed to be that we're doing a documentary about the anime creating, so there'd be like real people in it, or is this an anime fake documentary?
No, a real documentary about the real people creating an anime.
Anything Ghibli then? Probably from no later than like the mid '80s, because I'd like those guys to be like younger. So yeah, anything Ghibli.
Yeah, we've gotten a couple Ghibli documentaries.
I want more of them, Mason.
It's pretty much later in their discography and more about their mindset, not early stuff, like you said. Going back to Dandadan, I would love to see Creepy Nuts' behind the scenes of how they decided to write the lyrics for that first opening. And they're like, what should we write? Let's go with Dandadan, Dandadan. Let's just keep on repeating that. Yeah, that's a good start. Yeah. Let's go from there.
One's this fire. This is a banger.
Oh, Dandadan. Oh, do it again, brother. They're never going to expect it.
What I want to see, Mitz, is they do a documentary of Nausicaa, and somebody goes up to Miyazaki and is like, "Hey, the States are going to put this out. This is great, but they're going to call it Warriors of the Wind."
Oh God!
And he's just sitting there flipping on
that.
a cigarette, going, "Warriors of the Wind." No?
I think it'd be cool, especially from that audio where you actually see them working on cells instead of like all digital stuff. I think that'd be a really cool way for people to be like, oh yeah, anime used to be completely different, and it completely had a lot of limitations with that.
Well, clearly they agree, because if you've ever been to like the Ghibli Museum or even the park, there's like a lot of exhibits dedicated to what their workspaces look like, stuff like that, like the recreations of them. I think it's neat. I don't know, but I'm a nerd, so.
Thank you, Persomo, for the mailbag. Keep them coming. Everyone, keep them coming. We love them. And now, it's time for our review. Final segment of the show, Sentenced to be a Hero. Who wants to take the lead?
It's not me.
I'll do it. So, Sentenced to be a Hero from winter of 2026. You can find it on Crunchyroll. The synopsis. The hero penalty is the greatest form of criminal punishment there is. Heroes stand on the front lines of the battle with the demon blight and are denied even death in this perpetual fight. The punishment's term is eternal, but when Xylo Forbarts, a member of Penal Hero Unit 9004 and a convicted goddess killer, comes face to face with a new goddess, the pact they forge might just change the world. Studio Kai is the ones who have done this and will hopefully still be around. Because they are, anyway, the source of this is a light novel. Expectations, I will start. Before impressions, because we 3 of the 4 of us were the ones on 4 Impressions for this show. So before Impressions, I knew nothing about this show at all. I did, funny enough, watch Scum of the Brave before Sentenced to be a Hero in preparation for that Impressions. And when I realized they were the same author, I was like, oh no, here we go again. So yeah, I was concerned. That's my pre-Impressions take. Obviously, I liked it enough to pass it. That's why we're here. From that perspective, at least. Otaku.
Yes. So my expectations were this. I have ranted how anime needs more dark fantasy. And when I watched the PV for this, I said, dark fantasy shaped, dark fantasy flavored. I'll bite. It intrigued me. But I did notice one thing, and I looked into it. There is a lot of members from season 1 of Mushoku Tensei that worked on this. And if you don't see the similarities in younger Eris versus Teorita, you're just not paying attention. They look exactly the fucking same with a different hair color. So I was in, though. It looked interesting enough, and it looked like it was going to be some violence. So, yeah, I was excited to give it. And I agreed with you that it was definitely passable.
Mason.
As the 3rd member of the review squad that passed this, pre-Impressions, I had pretty low expectations. I didn't know anything about it, but you take a look at volume 1 of the light novel cover, and it's hard not to be like, ooh, that looks a little not great. That said, dark fantasy, we'll give it a shot. And as with you guys on that episode, I passed it, but I was a little more reserved. I wasn't sold on it. The first few episodes, for all of its fanfare and strengths, it had a bit of a whiplash in tone in the rickety characters and stuff in episode 2 that kind of cast a shadow of doubt on what this series would end up being. So I enjoyed it, but I was cautious about moving forward.
Mitsugi.
Did I pass this?
You
Nope.
were not on that episode.
Okay. I probably would have. I think that yeah, I don't know. I watched some of this before already, so I didn't finish this.
You gave it a strong score in our, behind the scenes impressions docket. Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely liked the show already, and I had seen quite a bit of it. But yeah, I didn't finish it. So just so people know, I only got up through episode 9, I think. So I got distracted by the basketball game last night. But yeah, I expected it to be cool just because I like the nice fantasy tones. The little girl's a little annoying, especially in the English dub. She's kind of annoying. The Tretiona or whatever the hell her name is.
Teorita, which would be
Teorita.
much better if you could roll your R's.
Yeah,
Teorita.
I just refuse to. Yeah, I'm not going to go through the labor of that. They should have just named her something easier. So, ultimately, yeah, pretty good. I like the style of the animation. The art looks good.
Boiler-free recommendations. I will start as well. This show should be bad. It has all of the trappings of your generic isekai adjacent slop, but it is unironically a good show. It is well constructed, it's intelligent, it's just plain fun. There's a lot of things kind of going on under the hood. I feel like it's very easy, to kind of like write the show off when you take it at face value. But I do genuinely think if you give it a chance and look beyond the superficial trappings, there is a lot to enjoy. Is it a perfect show? Of course it's not a perfect show, but I wholeheartedly recommend it. And the only thing I'm more excited to do than talk about it is to hear Mason tell me how wrong I am.
Oh, here it comes.
Yeah, I mean, this show should be bad, and it is. I mean, this show takes Clevitus, Jobless Reincarnation, Shield Hero, and Pragmata, puts them in a blender, and you get
Pragmata?
all of those shows. Pragmata. You got Big Daddy character
come on.
lugging around a small little girl who has supernatural powers, and they
Whoa,
team
whoa,
up
wait,
to
wait a
fight
second.
monsters.
Did you play Pragmata?
No.
All right, I cleared it last night. The ending was terrible. I don't know what the hell they were doing with that, but
Oh, what a coincidence.
the Xylo is no Hugh. I mean, Xylo is kind of an asshole. I mean, Hugh is
Yeah.
like this spongy, like daddy, like dad character. Not daddy, but Silo's more daddy. Hugh is more dad. Am I making
Just
sense?
the element of that relationship, whatever you want to go with. Last of Us, little girl, big father, doing stuff, and scene by scene, moment by moment, this show kind of oscillated between being pretty decent, being pretty dreadful, and being kind of lukewarm. And overall, I found myself pretty impassive to the whole thing. I wasn't enthralled, but I wasn't really disappointed either. If you like slick visuals, me against the world, alpha world mindset, pacing that keeps things moving, some gruesomely seasoned fights against eyeball festooned monsters, you could do a lot worse than Sentenced to Be a Hero. But with chunky writing, we have Berserk at home ethos, and enough edge to make your Gillette blush. You could do a lot better than this show.
Oh my
so
goodness.
it's not completely bad, but it ends up falling into kind of forgettable and not as strong as its start ends up thinking you might be someday. So it's less than fine, and knowing how good it could be makes its adequacy fall even worse. So I would not recommend this show.
Otaku.
Okay, listen. I asked for more dark fantasy, and I have received.
You received it.
I can see why the show might not be for everyone, especially the truly cultured and intelligent like Mason, but it still has a good story, and the fights definitely kept me interested, you know? I thought that a lot of the fights with the fairies and the blight were very interesting. I thought that the stories, you know, without going into spoilers, were enough to keep a viewer interested. You get your little lolly goddess. It may as well be Anya Forger with the powers of Gilgamesh from Fate. And surprisingly, no ecchi nonsense towards her. I know that the light novel cover is a little questionable, but surprisingly, the anime avoids all of that. So that was refreshing.
Even when she disrobes her cloak, they still definitely consider, oh, what would she logically be wearing underneath that to not make her seem sexualized? Yeah. And did a good job with it.
And given the Mushoku Tensei
pedigree, sure.
Pedigree, it's even more surprising.
So yes, I would recommend it. It's got enough. It looks good. To pull from Mason's own critique, you could do far worse. So yes,
Period.
Give it a shot.
Mitz.
Do you guys think that Rudius will find his third wife in this next season that's coming out?
Yeah.
Yes, of course he will.
What do you mean? Yeah, of course he will.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I was just checking. So before I say anything, I just want to say that the English dub of this is not bad, but the girl is so irritating to listen to. I don't want to cut her down. It's like, oh, your voice. I don't know. Raggedy, I'm sure you watched the dub. Do you agree that she's just like, God, just
having a 3-year-old daughter? I can tell you, I am immune at this point.
You're immune.
I'm immune. It rolled off like
hitting the sunshine buddies. They're agreeing with you.
Let him go.
It's just something.
They stopped moving. No.
Oh yeah, all the sunshine buddies are all dead.
No.
Oh boy. So just something about anime. Like we were talking about Pragmata, and the girl's voice in Pragmata seems totally normal, like a normal little girl. It doesn't annoy me at all. And then, but like because it's an anime, they have to like dial it up to a degree that she's just so squeaky. I just want to smash her face. Anyway,
you wouldn't be the only one.
She was far less obnoxious in the Japanese dub. Far less obnoxious. She just says "my knight" 127,000 times.
That's true. Yeah.
We'll get to her. We'll get to her with spoilers.
Ultimately, I thought this anime was quite enjoyable. I was kind of disappointed that I decided that I was going to hop on this podcast like 4 days ago because if I had had the extra 3 days, I probably could have got through the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, ultimately the combat's really interesting. I don't find the narrative particularly engaging, but I don't know. Maybe that's because I missed the ending. But yeah, there's just not that much going on. It's almost just like an arc based. We're gonna do this. It's almost like Berserk. Yeah, we're gonna do this military activity for 3 episodes, and we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do this military thing that's impossible for 3 episodes. And it's it is what it is.
Berserk is a very apt comparison, given what season 1 of like the original Berserk anime actually is to the story of Berserk. This feels very much the same, where it's an introduction to characters and world, and less about like the meat of the plot yet.
I do have some issues with so I like the characters in the show. I love the old king guy. The king is great. Xylo's pretty good. I don't even hate the blonde girl, whatever, I'm not gonna say her name. But
Just call her the goddess.
yeah, the goddess. Thank you, exactly. But the point that like some of these characters can't die does kind of take the edge off the show. It's like, okay, you're gonna kill me, and I'm just gonna be reborn like 2 days later in some pod somewhere. So like, who really cares if Xylo dies in a battle? He's just gonna get reborn anyway. You know what I mean?
Because then you end up like Tatsuya.
Eventually. Anyway, but yeah, I could probably recommend it. It's got enough of there's enough people looking for like a dark fantasy with some violence that would probably watch this. So that being said, I think some people will be annoyed by the goddess. Like Pancake would not watch this with me because she was so irritated by the girl. So I don't know. That's probably a minority, but ultimately, yeah, it's pretty good.
Play that
Yeah,
spoiler drop.
Let's get into it.
Just like everyone's looking at me, it's like,
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god.
how much did I miss
I
at the
would
end?
I'd follow Norgal into battle. That man is my king. I am also convinced, I am fully convinced that he is actually the king. Me and Otaku talked about this a little bit separately. I am fully convinced he is actually the king of this kingdom.
Oh, probably. So, big picture, this shows in a very segmented, formulated thing. Each grouping of episodes has a new mission. You get a new chaotic good team member. You get support from a previously introduced group. They fight minions. They fight a boss. Repeat. Episode 1 was its own thing. Episodes 2 to 3 was in the mines. Episode 4 to 6 was a castle defense. Episode 7 to 9 was like Eof City, where they were avoiding an assassination. And Mitz, to your point, episodes 10 to 12 is just them still in the same city fighting off more people. You missed their introduction of the last person named Rhino, who's a bit more of a psychopath than the rest, but still a pretty heavily armored brute who just lays down suppressing fire.
Yeah, that's all he is. Definitely
He fits
else.
the band of crazy, chaotic people who are kind of lovable, even if they're all kind of one note. It ends somewhat interesting in a way that I'm not going to spoil, but nonetheless, the hero party gets more members as they continue their mysterious quest and reason for existing. And I would say the last episode and the first episode were probably my favorite of the series.
I would agree. I had those as my pros, where episodes 1 and 12 were the best episodes. I mean, I feel like unquestionably.
I mean, episode 1 was the best because its animation was actually good, and episode 12 was the best because we actually stepped away from the hero party for the most amount of time to actually focus on the one decent character in Tivia, the lady who runs the Holy Knights, and her internal struggle, and probably the only character with depth and any engagement to it. But where do you guys want to begin?
You're saying the head pats weren't enough for you.
I'm saying they weren't. So here's my one thing. As
Come
much as I
on.
did find Kirita quite a bit grating and annoying, at least they made an excuse of her being like genetically modified, as all goddesses are, to desire that. Like, they made it pretty clear that this isn't her just being a cute little girl who is head pat, notice me. Like, every goddess we meet, of the 3 or so we've end up over the series, is that way, and it is like dog-like in their desire for that attention. So I understand it.
Yeah, they physically need it, and the 6th goddess, I think, the poison goddess that we meet halfway through, there's like a whole thing about how it's like, oh well, she got 9 head pats. Where were my head pats?
Yeah, like it is kind of interesting, and I will say that though, every character in the show is kind of keen to express their admiration for Xylo, but hers is almost fan servicey when she's like, I am here to bless you. It is you. I need you, or I will not be satisfied. You were brilliant. Allow me to praise you. Like, she is so not in a, I mean, it is fan service, as we kind of are supposed to self-identify with Xylo as we know the truth and we feel his disdain for this broken system, but it feels a little bit wrong with how eager she is to gas him up.
Well, it's supposed to feel wrong.
I
Because
know.
it is wrong. It's the whole point. 'Cause
And that's what I'm saying.
The other knights
It's justified.
the other knights utilize that system to exploit the goddesses. And it's the thing that I like about this show, and the thing I want to talk more about, is there is a lot that is kind of like show don't tell, where they do a lot without explicitly expositing on it. And this is something else I had mentioned to Otaku, was one of the major plot points of this is the coexisters, right? The humans that are trying to work with the demons. I know Otaku knows the answer because I told him, but do you guys know when the first coexister shows up?
In the show?
In the show.
Or in the...
No, in like runtime.
Oh, I'm guessing I'm wrong, but is it in that alley confrontation?
No.
Well, I'm guessing it's in episode 1 when
It is.
Soda is like stealing the coffin.
It's minute 50 is the first time we see a coexister. It's the priest who's part of the convoy that gets attacked by the fairies, that there's no reason that should have even happened. And it's the same priest who also appears later in episode 2 at the mines, who shows specific disdain for the heroes, which you could read as being, oh yeah, they're heroes. Everyone hates the heroes. But when you start to get more of the pieces, it fills out more of it. And they do that at a lot of points throughout the show. They do a lot with, I know you said Kiwi is the only character with any real depth. I would heavily push back on that. They all have a degree of depth to them. It's not explicitly said. I mean, I think that there is a lot of growth over the series between Xylo and Terita's relationship that changes very subtly with character motion, with character animation, not with just words, with, little things that do show that there is more thought and depth beyond guy with exploding knives has goddess who likes him.
In here, I thought you were
and
going
then not in any meaningful character way that I'd take away from it. Like, yes, the same way in our impressions, I called, he's going to be reticent to give her head pats because it reminds him of how it used to be and this and that. But at the very last episode, he's going to give her a head pat. So I called it, but also, like, I don't know. I can see that they do grow, but it just seems pretty standard. And I do admire their show don't tell mentality. I was reading an interview where the director told the screenwriter explicitly to not use internal monologue to show things through visuals. And I do like that, and they do it sometimes. But then you also just then have characters externally monologuing to nobody when, like, Terito is giving autographs near the end of, like, look at all these people love me, and she's giving autographs, and he's like, to nobody, he's like, well, I guess people still do enjoy getting autographs from goddesses because they claimed it wards off evil. That's pretty much telling me, not showing me. So, like, the show once again is so back and forth between doing things pretty well and doing things I find pretty subparly.
Something else I'm going to throw in the good category, because this is something that I thought was bad, and then I realized by episode 12 it was actually good.
Oh, accidentally based? Let's go.
Yes, so Venetum's he's the first one we see get sentenced. Like, we see his backstory first, right?
Really quick, was anyone, I'm not bothered by it, but they said you're sentenced to be a hero multiple times in a pretty funny way. They said the title, and then they said it again, and then they said it again, and then they said it again. But yes, he is.
So he's the first one, and I'm watching the interrogation, and the guy tells him, oh, you accidentally told the truth, and that's why you're being sentenced. But we're going to add a special thing into your collar that makes it so you can't tell it. And you're like, okay, this is dumb exposition for us, and there's no reason for him to say this. Until you realize at the end that he's probably not, the guy who sentences him is probably not a coexister, and is instead, because all the heroes have something about them that makes them better, right? They all have something, because one of the big themes in this show is how people are out for them and their own, and that's it. And every single one of the heroes, other than maybe Jace, because Jace just wants to fuck that dragon.
The thick boy.
He definitely wants to fuck that dragon. The rest of them show something where they are going beyond to help other people. Xylo is a pretty easy one, but then you have, Norgal, who, even though he's crazy, is actively trying to protect his kingdom. You have Dota, who is the most cowardly of them all, who sacrificed his arm to try to save the prince because he couldn't not help someone. They're all kind of like that. So when they're building this penal hero unit that he's building, we don't know what it's for, but it gives me this feeling that he told him that so that way he could know to try to tell other people what's going on.
I agree. Because yes, at face value, you learn about the hero system where these people are did terrible things to society so bad that we want to keep them alive and immortal and prop up these heinous criminals and keep people who know super sensitive secret information alive. That makes no sense. But to Raggedy's point, there's probably this behind the scenes thing that you just need to infer, and eventually they kind of touch on at the very end of the season, and we'll definitely get into season 2 where they're essentially a Suicide Squad team of we take these people who have been downtrodden specifically because they have these values that will eventually be useful in whatever monstrous future holds. So everyone's like, oh, the hero in this world is actually not a good thing, which is interesting, but it's actually, no, they are real heroes. They just haven't gotten there yet. So I do like that kind of explanation.
Also, part of the suicide mission, I think, is very intentional because, again, with the coexisters having infiltrated the church and the state, and who very clearly want Terry dead, keep sending this specific hero unit on very explicit suicide missions with the goddess that the goddesses are not supposed to be killed. They're supposed to be these weapons that are treasured. For some reason, they keep sending Terita into into these horrible suicide missions, which again, when you start to know who's pulling the strings, it starts to make more sense. At least to me, it does.
Otaku, what was your favorite part of the show, and why was it when they were beating up children?
That was great.
I hate all children, so that's
they were whooping those kids.
They were. I think I did enjoy the first episode, obviously being double in length too. I think certainly helped.
Triple in length.
It was triple.
It was an hour. It was an hour.
Long,
Yep.
yeah.
It was an
Triple
hour.
in length, and it's a show where they play stuff through the credits, so you feel like you're really getting your money's worth.
That was
they
again
do
in
episode
Mushoku
12.
Tensei.
Yeah.
They do the same thing. That's a very Mushoku Tensei thing to do. I enjoyed, when they went into the sewers. I liked, the pretty much that initial segment where you're just starting to really get a feel for the fairies and the blight. I really think it did a very good job of the combat aspect of things. I can see your points about there not being enough to maybe build up some of those other characters. But as predictable as it is, I am a fan of a reluctant hero who is not only reluctant in what their mission is, but his acceptance of Teorita. Because, yes, you knew eventually she was going to break through his frigid walls to give her those head pats. And it happened sooner than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be held out to, episode 12. But
Season 6?
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, episode 6.
Yeah. I think it was episode 6 is when he gave her first head pats. And even though I know for a fact that they stole Gilgamesh's ultimate power from Fate Grand Order and gave it to Teorita with her 1,000 swords coming down, I thought it was still well executed. And to Raggedy's point about it left the door open for so much more that I want to see the more. So it did its job of keeping me vested enough where when it ended, I said, okay, so what next? So I'll definitely be watching a season 2, personally.
I'm going to make a reference that only otaku will get and only otaku will dislike. This anime felt like the book The Will of the Many, which you brought up on a Hobby Addicts. And I read this book. And
I haven't heard your opinion of that yet.
It's not going to be good based
it's
on...
also like an epic fantasy, kind of dark kind of stuff. And like most of the book, I was pretty like unengaged with. It was like decent for what it is, but I just wasn't like sold on it. And the very like last little bit, it just ramps the F up and is like, you want the second book now? I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. That's how I felt about this one. I was like, I don't like, it's fine, whatever. And then it ends, I'm like, ooh, okay.
The lore
Did
drop
it get-
at the end.
It-
The
yeah,
lore
but
drop
I-
at the end. The lore drops are good. I love the episode 12, like where we get just enough explanation of like how the system really works. And I watch most of these shows twice that we review because I usually watch it as it's airing and then go back and watch it again. And this show rewarded the rewatches because a lot of the information you pick up at the end as you cycle back through, you see how they kind of like sprinkle it out throughout. Like, I love how this is a post isekai world. That's awesome. I love the concept of it, that they used to have true isekai heroes and that sucked because
That's just a lot of work.
it is. Which if you watch, like when we watch isekai to follow the Japanese like salaryman who goes back, it's like for our POV. But then you realize the people who live with that guy probably hate him because he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And I like that. I also like that Tatsuya is definitely one of the former isekai heroes. There's no question in my mind that that's what he was. Because he also has powers that are like very weird and different from everyone else's with no explanation. And now I have my explanation.
And has been in the game long enough to have that degradation of personality and memories to become the person we see today.
And I also like the idea that the reason the system works is because the first goddess just has to remember everybody, and that's like why they lose their memories, because she can't perfectly remember everybody all the time.
I think this falls onto just the general world building. I do like the food and the runes and the hero system. I think it's more the factions and the people themselves that I am more disengaged with. With like, oh, the church is bad. Yeah, I could have told you that at any second.
It seems like churches are bad a lot in shows.
Yeah, it tends to be.
Weird how that
cliche.
works. Weird how that works.
Overall, I like the characters. They all bring their own little wacky, fun flavoring to the group. I just, to say, oh, it's like Berserk, is to tragically miss the depth of.
When I say it's like Berserk, I meant more that this is a clear prologue to
It's like
what's to
Berserk.
come.
Look
And
at this Berserk. This is Xyloform Arch's design. Oh, he loses his left arm, just like Guts. Spoiler. He like is falling down face first, looking up at his precious lady partner, staring down the face of a monstrous horde of invading. Like, this is just. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Mitch? Sorry.
Yeah, I want to defend myself. You came in with the hook. No, I mean when I said it was like Berserk, it literally stops at we're doing one military campaign after another. Like literally, that's yeah.
It's an excuse
Berserk
to
is
see them
way
fight.
better. Berserk's
Yeah.
better.
I will talk about things I don't like, so I'm not fully glazing the show, because there are things I don't like. I do not like the forced romance, the one-sided forced crush that Kivia has on Xylo. It's unnecessary. There's no point. It adds nothing. And I know some other people that I have talked to are really upset about the guild sequences. Not so much the child murder. They seem to be okay with the child murder. It was more that people were like, this plan is stupid. Why did they think this plan would be good to like just walk into the guild and then like immediately switch to trying to just fight everybody? And yeah, it's not great. I wasn't as upset about it because Xylo is not like the smartest guy and jumps to violence very quickly often. So I thought it was fitting with his character. Doesn't make it great writing, but it wasn't like out of the blue.
I think it's part of we need to have that self-insert fan service of, oh, you two have to pretend to be a couple. Wouldn't it be cool?
It's
if...
all
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
and I did also find the like conservation of ninjutsu fight kind of funny, which is like the guild has like a fairy and they have more trouble with the single fairy than with the hordes of fairies, which is like I don't know if anyone knows that trope where it's like one ninja is scarier than a horde of ninjas because that's just how it works.
You can't mow down one ninja. You need a pantheon.
Exactly. So yes, there are definitely some weaknesses that I found, but I don't know. The stuff I enjoyed kind of overtook it. I know I was cackling when Sav shot Spriggan and was like, "Oh my god, I just shot a kid."
Yeah, that's funny, especially because you know something bad's going to happen, and they somehow stumble out of it.
Well, and Sav like has been known to do that. Like that's his whole thing is that he accidentally just keeps killing the right people all the time.
You mentioned POV earlier, and I want to talk about the visuals of this show. They do use a lot of POV things, quite a lot, and I like them. I think that was one of the moments where I was actually engaged visually with the show. The show design looks pretty fine. The line work is interesting. But the actual animation, how characters move in fight scenes, is pretty atrocious. I can count on one head pat the number of times actually looked good animation-wise. They do a lot of speed lines and weird edits and just big explosions and just a lot to hide the fact that it doesn't move well when they fight. And I was promised more. Episode 1 said there was going to be more, and I did not get more.
I just don't know if I agree.
There was a downgrade. It was definitely a downgrade from episode 1, but I don't think it's quite nearly that bad.
There's a lot of atrocious cuts.
But isn't like a lot of anime not gloriously animated? I mean, I feel like usually it's like, wow, shit's barely moving. I'm just happy to see.
You're not wrong.
You know what I mean?
But that doesn't justify this show. I feel like I hear people say, "Oh, the animation was great," or "The animation looks so good," and it really doesn't. They do a good job of hiding it, but I found a lot of the fights. It doesn't help that Xylo's technique is just throw things at people.
It's not very interesting.
It makes the fights like choreographically also pretty subpar.
Yeah,
when you have Xylo throw stuff, Kirito throws swords, Sav throws bullets, Norgal just yells at people, Dota's not even there, like Jace throws a dragon fire. Like, it's not very engaging in how fights are structured, which made a lot of the fights, which is chock full in this anime, with very similar looking enemies, just let's throw eyeballs and mucus on like the same ape or flower. Like, it just made the fights not that engaging for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you think, if you to piggyback on that real quick, if you think about it, like some of the most interesting fight scenes are like kung fu fight scenes, like martial arts, because it's so kinetic, so choreographed. There's so much mesmerizing to watch, and I think you're spot on when you say that like throwing a sword just isn't interesting. It's not fun to watch. I could watch Jackie Chan fight for an hour.
Going back, what was one of the best episodes? Episode 12. A close combat sword fighting scene with good animation where Kivya is fighting someone who is important to her. And it close, like, it doesn't go on very long, but like that was probably the best fight of the series.
It was also
because it wasn't what 1 through 11 was.
It was also the most emotionally like resonant one. There was more behind it than just there's a monster, kill a monster.
But even you take away all the actual character drama, like it still clears the bar.
I'm just saying the character drama then just elevates that even
exactly.
more. So I'm agreeing with you. That is the best.
I did like the gag of that one soldier who kept on throwing up, and it was gray like cement puke. Like that was funny. I didn't animate the puke every time, but I don't know. Like it was just fine. The music was fine. It did lack the production of like a Sawano work, but I did like the chanting element to it. Like everything the show did, it simultaneously did really well sometimes and lackluster sometimes. And that's why I'm so like torn on the show, because I was left just kind of meh.
I understand your reservations with some of the animation, but I'm also coming from a perspective of somebody who is still sticking with the beginning after the slideshow. I mean, the beginning after the end. So if I get an anime that actually animates any type of combat, I'm already feeling spoiled. And I think Raggedy makes a good point that every anime kind of suffers from some pockets of the show are going to be better drawn than others, and it's clear that they saved their haymaker animations for the more important scenes, i.e., the beginning and the end, and that's fine by me. I think the one thing that I did see discourse on that people were kind of mixed on was the actual color palettes of the fairies. I don't know, like they were just unnecessarily like neon colored in a lot of things, and I think it was just for the effect of drawing attention to the creature. It didn't add anything other than I was just like, that's really oddly neon
It's
green.
bright. It's not like a color.
Right.
It's like the brightness of it was like
yeah.
CG
When I think
saturated.
light and darkness, I'm thinking like dark shit. Like it threw it off, being that it's supposed to be this blight and it's bright neon green. It just didn't mix for me. That was probably my one biggest issue with the show. I wasn't fucking with the color palette necessarily.
It felt very fungal to me, which also kind of fits with the idea of what the demon blight is, because it's more of a fungus and a parasite than like demonic whatever.
Fungus and eyes, that's all you need.
So it made sense, but yeah, it was a little jarring to the remaining like color palette of the show.
Any other thoughts? Last minute opinions?
I mean, I could go on for hours, but that's not appropriate.
I know.
I could dissect this second by second. That's not a good way to use our time, though.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Rhino's deal at all, or do we want to leave that spoiler free for Mitz?
I am going to finish it. I am going to finish it.
I don't think we need to talk about it to spoil it for folks. I think we've done enough to lay the groundwork of like, if you want the dark fantasy, it does do more than the average bear. Check it out if that sounds good. If you're a goober who hates fun like me, like maybe avoid it. But yeah, I think there's enough twists at the final episode too, where we don't need to talk about it. Other than that, they just raise intrigue. They let you know more about what's going on in the world. Rhino, he does work.
I'm just gonna say that the twist with Rhino, I don't think is that far-fetched. I think it is set up enough in advance where
I agree.
It's not.
And it helps facilitate, like you said, the theme of the show is humans look after only their small spheres and they disregard others, as opposed to everything else. And what is the correct way to take that? What does it mean to be a hero? What does it mean to be a good person? Those are themes that the show is starting to lay out, but really hasn't taken the next step to address. But I think that it lends itself to that discussion. So I was fine with it. I wasn't like, oh my goodness, this breaks everything and is an ass puller.
There were a few people who I saw were very upset about it.
I mean, it makes you wonder why he got added to the team, but long hair man's got a plan, and at this point we have to trust it, which I don't like. I like when shows have a reason I can follow and be like, oh, this will all make sense in season 2. Like, I kind of want that now, but whatever. Let's give it a shot. I think we're ready to score this.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give it the highest score, so I should probably go last.
Okay. Well, I'll give it the
lowest
high score, so I'll go first. So I gave this a 3 in our pre-impressions thing, and I think the show got worse from there. And I was really fighting between a 2 and a 2.5 on what to give this show. I was looking through the shows that we've reviewed, and the show fell face first into a 2, but I think with the discussion we had today, the optimism of the Sausage Boys have just done enough to raise this to 2.5 Holy Sword uses out of 5.
We did it.
You'll love to see it.
We did it.
It's mid, but not mid all the time.
All right, Otaku.
So I am a fan of this show. I think it does get some inspiration from other franchises because I will say the hero goddess mechanic does feel a lot like Master Servant in a way from Fate, but it is the continuation of more newer dark fantasy. I think that it does a very decent job of world building. So I'm not going to score it as high as I did Clevites because I thought Clevites was a better show. But I will give this 3.5 Lolly Goddess head pats out of 5.
Oh my god.
Mitts.
This is gonna be an unofficial score. Don't put it down anywhere because I didn't finish it. But I just wanted the monsters to be a little more interesting. I'm not into the Sympho gear, neon glowing like blob monsters and stuff like that. It's just not my thing. Yeah, it doesn't have an appealing or a dark enough look for such imposing monsters in a fantasy world. So I'm also gonna give it 3.5. I like it. I liked it pretty well. 3.5. I don't know. 3.5 swords. I hate that he throws the swords. It's so stupid. Your big thing is throwing. Like, why doesn't she just shoot the swords at them all the time?
Then they don't explode.
Oh, come
You
on.
gotta go
bro.
boom.
Wait, but he has to throw them one at a time. It's so silly.
Or you just throw one big sword.
Also,
What if it was really big?
Also, who throws a sword? Honestly.
Xylo. We've answered your question.
Honestly, it should have been 4 out of 5 for me if it just showed him just whipping daggers at folks, and Kirito has to scamper around like a dog and pick him back up and return it.
Her collection power.
So for me, I really enjoyed this show. In case the previous 45 minutes of discussion wasn't obvious, I think it's enjoyable. The show is very clearly a prologue to further things to come. There is a lot of potential, even more potential than Megumi Fushiguro has. Will it cash in on that potential? I mean, I guess we will see. The thing with this is this caused a lot of stir online when a certain other anime podcast put this very highly ranked on their top 100 shows of all time. And I had a discussion with a few friends and who did not like the show at all. And they asked me, do I think this is one of the top 100 shows of all time? And my answer is
There's no fucking way.
Is not.
It might make top 100 of 2026.
Mason.
I think eventually it could be if it fulfills the promises that I see it having given. So all in all, I am going to give this 4 friends I have definitely lost due to my score on this show out of 5.
There's no fucking way this anime is anywhere near the top 100. Maybe top 500. Maybe
Raggedy,
top
I
500.
appreciated talking back and forth on the show. We have lost no friendship between us. Yeah. I appreciate your points. This averages it out to a 3.5 out of 5.
Oh,
which
it's not
I think
bad.
If it helps, I do think that I brought your score up to a 2.5, and you brought my score down from a 4.5 to a 4.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
It evened itself out.
Also, I'm keeping Mitz's 3.5 on the docket officially, but
I didn't finish it.
Subject to change after because he's going to watch the show. He's going to let us know, hey, you can drop it or raise it as you want.
It can't have a worse ending than Pragmata. That was. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Which I guess we'll find out about in Hobby Addicts.
No, I've already talked about Pragmata twice. People do not want to hear about it again. It is good, though. You should go get it if you... Boy, the graphics are good. All right. Well, let's see here. I won't be here next week.
Next week we are talking Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Dodged a bullet there.
Neo.
Actually, a really good show.
And then after, I won't be back for a few weeks. All right, well, listen, guys. Y'all are great. We're all just a bunch of sausages in a plastic wrap. You know what I mean? In a Ziploc bag in your fridge.
4
That's right.
tightly packed dogs hanging out.
And then we're going to go over to Hobby Addicts, where we're going to talk about video games mostly, I assume. And if you want that, go to Patreon. How about the show? Hey, I'm going to be in Denver 2 weeks. Peace.
Deuces.
Don't forget to get yourself some barbecue from Buzzfeed.